You want to build a snowman?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Woo! Oh, how pretty. Looks kind of like a smiley face too.
Yeah.
Better to do that. It blew all over you. Yeah. Hi guys, welcome back. It's kind of chilly here today and yesterday. It was pretty cold. I don't know if it's gotten up to 20 degrees today yet or not, Fahrenheit that is. I know it got down to like 10 overnight last night, and yesterday it stayed pretty firmly in the teens all day, so it's been pretty chilly. So we've definitely got the wood stove going and both of the propane heaters, trying to keep the chill off, and it's doing pretty well right now in the house. We actually aren't using, this house has a heat pump, and we actually aren't using it at all. We haven't used it since we put in the second propane heater, and you can kind of tell because of course the two rooms that have the heaters in them are both quite warm, the living room and the bedroom, and right now I'm doing some cooking in the kitchen, so it's staying pretty warm, but like in the back of the house where the mudroom is and stuff, it's definitely chilly when you move between rooms, you can tell, but it's doing pretty good. No frozen pipes or anything like that so far. Hopefully it stays that way. So we're doing all right. Obviously just trying to make sure the animals are all right and making sure they're having fresh water throughout the day because it freezes pretty quickly. In fact, I should probably go do that right now, go take them some more. But anyway, yeah, I hope everybody's staying warm. I'm gonna go show you what I'm cooking real quick, because last summer I did a video talking about canning tomato sauce and that, and during that I was talking about how, you know, in the summertime when we have all this produce from the garden, we quite often don't necessarily want to do all that cooking right then in the house because it's already hot. We don't want to add that extra heat to the situation, fight the air conditioner, all that. And so I was talking about then, you know, how you can just freeze these tomatoes and process them later in the winter when you want the heat. Well, guess what? Right now is exactly when I want that heat. I thought about that this morning. I walked in the kitchen, it was kind of cold in there, and I was like, man, it's kind of cold. It's too bad I wasn't really planning on necessarily doing any cooking today. You know, sometimes if you're running the oven or cooking something on the stove type, it'll, you know, just kind of help warm things up. And I was like, I don't really plan on doing anything today. And I thought, you know, now would be a good time to do those tomatoes that I froze this summer. So I went ahead and I pulled them all out. I think I had 4-gallon bags of just whole tomatoes that I put in the Ziploc bags and frozen that way, and then I had a container of the ones that I had cut up and mushed in there, and that's like probably a 6-quart container, I want to say. So, you know, we've got like probably 5 or 6 gallons of tomatoes that I skin and peel, and went ahead and put it in my stock pot to start simmering. And I honestly, you know, like I said, I mostly did that. I'm getting cold standing out here, but it's kind of nice to get a little fresh air even when it's cold. So anyway, when I first started that, I didn't even really have a solid plan. I was just like, it'd be nice to kind of cook something to keep the house kind of warm. You know, it smells nice, makes it feel kind of cozy. But anyway, I thought, you know, I was just gonna cook it down and maybe make some sauce or something like that. I really hadn't thought it through at this point, but it started to, the tomatoes started to cook down, and it started to get that smell going through the house. I was like, man, that smells so good. It really makes me want tomato soup right now. And I thought, well, why don't I just make it into tomato soup? Which is something I've never done before, by the way, but I've wanted to. That's kind of been one of my like bucket list things I wanted to try canning, and I haven't yet. I thought, well, why don't I just do that? I mean, I already have some whole tomatoes canned, and I already have some tomato sauce, and, you know, honestly, I don't mind buying either of those at the store if I need some more. Like, why not try some tomato soup? So anyway, I jumped online and found a recipe that sounded good, which I will link. And this isn't going to be like a whole how-to video or anything. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm going to go show you what it looks like right now. And I'll probably eat some tonight, so I'll jump back on then and tell you how it turned out. It's much warmer in here. So what I've got in here is the tomatoes, and like I say, I had started to cook them down some before I even decided I was going to make soup out of it. But I've got the tomatoes, and then after I found the recipe, I added some celery and some onions and some basil and some salt. I didn't do all of the salt that it called for yet. I figured I would, you know, let it cook down and all that, and then try and see if I thought it needed any more. And I might also add some sugar later. Like I say, we'll just see how, see if I think it needs any more once we get to that point. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it cook down for a while, because I did just add the onions and celery in that just, you know, within the last 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that cook down until that's all soft, and then I will blend it up. Probably gonna use my immersion blender, blend it all up, and then run it through a food mill, and then we'll see at that point whether it needs to be cooked down further, or if it's good consistency the way it is, and if it needs anything else. And then, yeah, I imagine I probably will can some. I'm definitely gonna eat some today because it smells amazing. But I probably will can up whatever I'm not gonna use, because I don't want to eat it solid for the next week. So still need to look up, I don't even know what the canning time and everything's gonna have to be for that. I still have to look that up. But yeah, I'm excited to try it. I think this is a great chilly day, stay in the house project. So I'll let you know how it turns out. Another brisk day out today. It was down to, I think we had like a low of 5 or 6 last night, and it's like 19 now. So, but the sun's out, so it's better than yesterday, but still pretty chilly. So anyway, the soup turned out great. I was really happy with how it turned out. Like I said, I will go ahead and put the recipe in the description. I only added like about half as much sugar as the recipe called for, and I liked it that way. But anyway, had some for dinner last night. It was great, and I went ahead and put 10 pints in the canner, and I had the lid blow off of one, so I have 9 pints, but they all sealed, and that'll be good to have for this year. But you know, that's only the second time that's ever happened to me, that I've had a lid come off in the canner like that. And the other time was last summer, and both times I was pressure canning tomato products. So I don't know if you know, if there's a connection there for some reason, if they foam up more or something. I'm not sure, but it's okay. It happens occasionally, and fortunately it didn't break a jar or anything like that. Just the lid came off, and of course made a mess of all the jars in the inside of the canner. Had to wash those, but that's no big deal. But yeah, anyway, I'm happy with how that project turned out. I'm outside right now doing the animal chores. But I'm probably gonna go out to the freezer in the garage before I go back in. And I think I'm gonna grab some beef soup bones and maybe get a pot of broth on for today. That might be today's kitchen warming up project. And hey, this is prime homemade soup weather right here. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me for a few minutes, and I hope everybody's staying warm in all this winter weather we're having, and we'll see you next time.